have you guys been watching American Ninja Warrior the last couple of seasons? It's getting crazier and crazier with the challenges, the obstacles, everything they have to go through. It's just been wild. They're always throwing something new in every year, I think, just to up the stakes. And it's crazy because the year I did it, I thought that was the hardest. And then now I'm seeing some of these obstacles that they're throwing in there. I'm like, whoa, this is pretty wild. It's getting crazy.
What's up?
What's up, Joe? How's it going, man?
I don't hear anybody, so hang on. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
What's up,
dude,
Joe?
You're looking
Good,
freaking... You're pro over there with your pro mic and everything. This is badass, dude.
You like that?
You've done this before?
A few times.
Yeah. Everybody meet Joe. Man, it's been a while. How you been? Good?
Yeah, man. I was just talking about it with somebody. By the way, I'm getting over pretty bad cold.
Oh, man. Sorry.
So I'm going to try not to cough as much as I can. I'll probably end up muting my mic a lot.
Okay.
I should probably learn how to do right now. There we go.
Are you
Nice.
Are you at the end of your cold right now?
Yeah, I'd say so. I've had it for, I don't even know, since Monday last week. I was at a big competition. But to go back to what I was saying, Nick, I was just talking to somebody about how I think we met season 5.
We did.
Season 5?
St. Louis. Yeah,
6. It was
Louis.
6. Yeah, St. Louis. Crazy.
Yeah,
it's been so long.
Right before you came on, we were just talking about how the challenges are getting crazier and crazier every year. They're throwing in new obstacles, and I remember I was telling these guys, years ago when I was young and at it.
You're still young. You're 39, right?
That's it. No, I'm just joking. It was crazy because when we did St. Louis, I was like, oh, I got this. But it's that one slip up, that one mess up, that one step. It doesn't matter how hard you freaking train, man. It's like I grabbed that rolling log. I've never done that obstacle before. I got up there and I got cocky because I got past the first couple obstacles because it was frozen. The steps were frozen. It was freezing cold rain, that torrential downpour. Yeah. Dude, it was like the worst. It was the worst one they were saying that you could have went and tried out for, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I've been doing this 7 seasons now, and I'm pretty sure that was the worst. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty bad.
Cool. So I don't feel bad for failing on it now. Nice. No, it was crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, 7-time, right? 7-time Vegas finalist on American Ninja Warrior, right?
7-time competitor, 7-time Vegas finalist somehow.
Man, amazing.
And 3-time member of the Team USA.
6, 7, 9. Yep.
Wow.
Dang.
And a meteorologist.
Yeah, on the side. I do it all.
On the side.
Dude, so yeah, tell everybody who you are, what you've done for the last couple of years. Let's just get right into it because this man right here is a freaking beast. You're talking to one of the most competitive athletes I've ever met, and I've been doing this a long time. I'm serious, man. I say that confidently. You are a freaking beast.
I can appreciate that. I would agree that I'm definitely competitive. I might not be the most amazing athlete you've ever seen, but I'm certainly competitive, and those fires burn bright. And so, I mean, I've been doing this, if you don't know me, for the people watching, I'm Joe Moravsky, the weatherman from NBC's American Ninja Warrior. And I have been doing this 7 years. This will be my 8th season. I got the call back last week. It was pretty cool. You never know either, because just because I've been on the show 7 years, I don't take that for granted. Who knows? They shortened the amount of regions we're going to have this year. So that they were telling us, we might not be seeing some of these return veterans. And I was kind of like, okay, I've done pretty good. I don't know. And so they brought me back. So that's good. But I mean, it's been a long road, a lot of changes. I mean, you were on the show with me, Nick, season 6, a lot of changes since then, a lot of rule changes, a lot of things have changed, including my training, of course. So
how has training been going? What are you doing right now to stay, the nutrition side is one thing, but also the fitness side. What is your training like every day?
So I just got a job at Real Life Ninja Academy in Stamford, Connecticut. And by the way, for people watching as well, I am losing my voice. Actually, I should say I'm getting it back. So it's been a rough last few days. I almost talked to you, Nick, today and was like, you know what, maybe we should push it. But I'm going to truck through. I got my water.
Because you're a warrior.
That's
Because
right.
you're a ninja warrior, dude. We don't stop.
And the secret, here's the secret to the diet. Remember we were talking about diet a little bit?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, nice.
Little bites.
Sometimes you just got to steal the kids' snacks. That's how you got to do it.
Dude, I do it all the time. I'm taking their puffs or whatever they're called. Those little like puff snacks. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right? You got the little squeezable applesauce. We could probably talk about this for hours. Anyway. Sorry. So I just got a job at Real Life Ninja Academy in Stamford, Connecticut under Drew Dreschel, the guy that just won the show this year. We're partnering up and working together. It's pretty big, actually. This morning, we had a live shot with NBC News New York. They went live with us in Stamford. I mean, I've been up since 3:30 this morning. It's been a long day.
Oh, wow, man.
And we planned that news segment like 3 days ago. So this was already in the books. I was like, you know what? We're doing it all. We got this. So
You're a trooper. You're a trooper.
I'm a warrior. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And fighting the sickness. But I'm not looking for props. I'm just saying it's been a long day. But I'm super excited to be here. And, the training, even though I'm fighting so many different things, I'm training every day pretty much. Monday, for sure. Tuesday, today, I made a deal with my coworker. I said if I win the $1 million, I'll give her a few $1,000, but she needs to get me on the rope every day, no excuses, before I leave. And I was like, all right, guys, I got to leave half an hour early. I'm not feeling good. I got a podcast tonight. I just want to save some energy. She goes, all right, get on the rope. I was like, no, I can't get on the rope. She was like, all right, you don't want $1 million. And I was like, damn it.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got on that damn rope, I'll tell you.
That's awesome.
But that's why you need people in your corner. I've been doing it alone pretty much my whole life. Sure, we have ninjas all around in the area here in Connecticut. Drew obviously moved up here years ago from Florida, wanting to move back now because his family's down there. He knew where the talent was. He had to come up to Connecticut.
That's right.
I tease him. He's an amazing athlete, obviously winning the show this past season. Really good friend of mine. And, I've been training a ton. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm still employed at News 12 Connecticut as a freelance meteorologist, so I fill in every once in a while. But honestly, every once in a while, it's been over a year. I haven't been in the office. So they pretty much know at this point that if I'm looking for work, I'll call them. But they have a list. They pride themselves in saying that they have the most meteorologists in the state, and it's true. We have like 10 meteorologists, so They don't need me. They're doing great, and I'm loving what I'm doing. So,
and what goes into your day when you're training? I mean, how many hours or what do you put into it when you're training?
Yeah, what's interesting? I was just talking to Drew about this last night because I've seen him over the last few days. He's been in and out of the gym. He's from Hamden, which is about an hour drive from Stamford, roughly, depending on traffic. So he's not usually at the Stamford gym. He's got a gym up near him, the original gym that he opened years and years ago. And he was like, hey, how's all the rigging of the obstacles going? Because every week we have kids coming in, of course. Excuse me. And I have to rig the new obstacles for the week. It's not like gymnastics where you go in, you're doing balance beam, pommel horse, or, we're not really doing pommel horse in recreational gymnastics, but, the rings, they got some obstacles, not obstacles. See, I'm all hardwired to ninja. I used to do gymnastics, I swear. All right, there's balance beam, there's vault, there's floor, there's the uneven bars, and those kids really just work skills all day on those same obstacles, where in ninja, especially at Real Life Ninja Academy, we're rotating obstacles every week. And so Drew said, so what do you think? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, have you noticed you got stronger just from hanging and rigging obstacles? And I was like, yeah, actually, I can hang there for quite some time. You're hanging there trying to ratchet something.
It's amazing.
The thing falls off. You're like, all right, I got to switch arms. I'm like going to fall now. And you got your feet up and you're hanging there. And all of a sudden you realize you've been up there for 10 minutes, switching between arms and like pumping out, trying to like shake the pump. And then here I am realizing, wow, no wonder Drew got so strong. He's literally just been hanging upside down. So that's part of the training, honestly, is rigging, demoing obstacles throughout the day for the kids. And then at the end of the day, we have on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have adult class, which is essentially an open gym. And they come in and train. And that's my time, if we don't have any new people, where I'll just train with them. I'll be like, all right, guys, I set this up for you. Like, let's try it. and we'll play and we'll work. So, and then we'll set up speed courses. It's always different, and it depends on the time of year. So with city qualifiers and finals coming up, I really shouldn't be worrying about rope, because rope is literally the last obstacle that you'll ever see. It's a 75-foot rope. You have 30 seconds to beat it, $1 million. And yeah, right. Excuse me. So I am looking ahead, obviously, but there's a lot of obstacles like the warped wall, for example. It's a 14.5-foot wall, but you have the option to go to the 18-foot wall, which is for $10,000 if you catch it on the first try. I haven't done it yet, which is very unfortunate for whatever reason, but I do plan on not having that happen again this year. So
Dude,
that was a lot.
I didn't know they raised it to 18 feet. That's crazy. Because I remember when I sent you a picture and I built one in my backyard, and I was like, I'm gonna build this. How else am I gonna train? So I trained every single day. Yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
I used to train on it every day, but I used to put the quad steps next to it. And I used to run off the steps right up the warp wall. But mine was 14 feet. I think it was 14 because back then I think the warped wall. What was it back then?
It was 14. Now it's 14 and a half. Right? Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I remember it being something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do this every day. Right. It's cool.
But the mega wall though is the game changer. It's pretty much 4 feet taller. It's the same scale, right? If you have the wall and you scale it up to just 18 feet, it's still the same dimensions, so to speak. Yeah. But it's not easy. You need tons of momentum, and they shortened the run-up. The run-up we had in St. Louis years ago for American Ninja Warrior Season 6, it was probably a whole 50% longer of a run-up. They literally shortened the run-up, made the wall higher. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, and pretty much it's momentum and a lot of leg, and just obviously that grip with that reach or that right step to push up that extra boost, right? I mean, you're kind of like pushing off when you get to a certain point, you can't run any further, so you kind of have to push momentum up. It's weird.
You know what's interesting? I actually had to change my shoes. I realized that extra 5%, I really didn't think it ever mattered. I was like, 5%, I don't need the 5%, 10%. You know, it's a comfortable shoe I'm wearing. I've been wearing it for years. And then I realized, crap, I need to change my shoes. So, and I did. And I can't even begin to tell you how something as simple as just changing your shoe can really matter.
Absolutely, man. So, it's all down to the science. I mean, you take this very seriously. This is what you're doing every single day when you're waking up, going to sleep for that, like those less hours that you have. You know, competitors, that's all they live, breathe, sleep. You know, they're eating this as much as they can, more so than anybody else. And that's what takes a real passionate person to get behind something that they want something so badly. You want to finish it. You want that $1 million. You want to win it. Yeah. You know, and it's just years of just practicing for that moment. You know, it's amazing.
You know what though? You said it right there. It's years of practice. It's just like if you brought me on to the show, which, forgive me, I haven't watched you in quite some time on TV. I don't have time. Are you still doing the ghost hunting, all that stuff?
Oh, yeah. I do it all the time. But
okay, good. Because if you ever brought me out there, I'd be a lost cause. So I would probably enjoy it. I probably would die of fear, but I would probably enjoy it at the same time. But I couldn't, it's just two different, you train, you work hard for what you love and what you want to achieve. And that's, the results you'll see is from that hard work. So, if you wanted to be a ninja and you had that raw talent, of course we'd be able to build it. And you did, you look good out there. And those obstacles, they're just hard. And sometimes you overthink it or don't think about it enough, or you think ahead and you're not in the moment. And all of a sudden it takes that one slip, that 1 inch of just like, if you watched me on the show this year, I don't even like talking about it. Did you guys end up seeing it? No big deal if you didn't, but I want to explain it if you haven't.
Oh, explain it. Explain it to us. Yeah.
All right. Ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm getting a drawing out there. So
break it down for us. Break it down.
There was an obstacle, okay? You had to hang from a cane, okay? And you were supposed to jump from one obstacle that was over here. I'm not going to draw it because it was at a 90-degree angle, so it's I'm not going to be able to do that. And you had to hang the cane here.
Whoa, man.
Okay. Yeah. I jumped and did the 90-degree turn, but I landed here on the little outside lip. but it's not as big as I drew it here. I'm talking like I landed on something this big.
Dude.
It was just outside the track, outside the truss, because they extended it, obviously, because they had to screw the thing in. So it was just an extension of the landing platform. And I jumped this cane across, landed. I was like, I looked up and I was like, that's not good. And I'm swinging forward. And I'm one obstacle from the end. And then I'm on stage 4 climbing the rope for $1 million with these other 2 guys. And I landed on the ledge. And I knew because I had a little circular swing, just a little. I knew that if I didn't try to make a move on my backswing, that thing was just going to come right off.
Yeah.
And so I went to pull to try to correct to go from cane from here to cane here. And the second I pulled, the thing, because it's made of metal and it was aluminum or something, it flexed just a little bit. And I just went right off the track.
Dang.
Oh,
right into the
man.
water. Good 15-foot drop.
Oh.
Which is always a little intimidating if you're looking down and you feel that pump coming. But thankfully, it's been years since I've pumped down on stage 3. It's usually a mistake now, which is good. That means the training is paying off. But my gosh,
That's just it. That's just it. So small little things, mental mistakes. It doesn't matter. Even if it's not even a mistake, it's a slip. You know, I don't even consider that a mistake at that point. It's just something that was naturally meant to happen in some weird way.
You know what? I can agree with that. I feel like, because on TV, this might blow your mind if you saw the finale, Drew Drechsel ran before me in reality, but on TV, I ran before him.
Yeah.
And when he ran before me and finished the course, my motivation, it dropped. And that was just a lack of training on my end, I think. I was training really hard, but not nearly as hard as I am now. And I just felt like I would beat myself because I didn't feel strong enough. So when he finished, I was like, you know what? I know he's going to beat me up the rope. He's just going to beat me. He's destined to win. I'm okay with that, and he deserves it, but it's like I just didn't feel like it was my moment. And so I'm kind of happy that how I fell is how I fell. I didn't fall because I missed a lache with a bar. I was crooked and I made some dumb mistake that's going to haunt me. Like, this was literally a fluke. I missed by 2 inches and I caught it. So I showed everybody I have the strength. I'm good. But I blew the moment, mental mistakes. And I preach to the kids all the time and adults. It's 40% physical, 60% mental. Those numbers vary ninja to ninja. I've heard 25% physical, 75% mental. Because you could be the strongest guy, strongest rock climber, strongest basketball player, any athlete from any sport, they can come in and train. But if you can't handle the moment mentally, you're not going to succeed. And unfortunately, I've just not been able to handle it mentally. And I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I just feel like stage 3, my brain shuts off, which is so strange. Maybe it's just the moment closing in on me, and I feel it and it's getting closer, and it's not fear. It's just, I can't focus. Maybe like I'm just thinking about, I'm almost there. And I lose my train of thought. I don't know what it is, but that's kind of what I'm going back to the drawing board this year. I love that mug, by the way.
Johnny.
I like that. But what's really interesting is, we have plenty of leagues that we do throughout the year. There's the National Ninja League. There's the UNAA, which is I always get this wrong. It's not Ultimate. It's the Ninja Athlete Association of some sort. I don't forget what the U stands for. It's going to bother me now. But anyway, the National Ninja League finals just happened last weekend. That's why I lost my voice, I think, and where all this started. But I ended up winning that competition. I beat the best ninjas in the world. Aside from Drew didn't feel ready because he had a kid a few months ago, and so he's got that dad bod. Trust me, I know all about that, and so do you guys.
Nice, congrats.
Maybe not all of you,
Drew.
but yeah, right. So he didn't compete. He didn't want to embarrass himself, is my guess. Even though, but here's the funny thing. You laugh, but the funny thing is Drew's baseline. If this is me right now, and this is Drew at his peak, okay, Drew's baseline is like right here. So even if he isn't really ready, he's still going to kick everyone's ass. You know what I mean? But he knows. He's seen me at the gym. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit out. And I was cool with that, obviously. But I ended up winning. I got $5,000 from it, a trip to the Barbados, which I'll be
that's
going
amazing.
to
Yeah.
May for another competition. So I feel good. I feel like I'm at the top of my game. I'm 30 years old, and I'm just ready to take on the show again. It's unfortunate that I'm the strongest now, because after we have somebody win, they don't want another winner ever.
Yep.
So I know going into this, it's a losing battle, but I'm going to give it my all. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's all timing, though. You know, it's all timing, a part of life. I think that's a life journey in general. We talk about this a lot on this podcast with everything. We've talked to so many different people. We talked to a gold medalist who was an Olympic swimmer, fastest female swimmer in the world at one point. We talked to John Tenney, who's this brainiac and talks about all these crazy rabbit hole situations. And, talking to people like you, we talked to people from Spartan, all sorts of people. And it's just interesting always. It always comes back to the simple notion of when it's your time, right? It's your time to rise up. Yeah. The universe has a way of guiding us. And when it's that time, you're on that platform, it's meant to be. And you just wait for that time. It's probably your time this year. I'm freaking
that would be cool.
Dude, I'm supporting you. I've always supported you. Even the day that we were there, I remember when I slipped on the rolling log, I was so bummed because I worked my ass off to get to that point. It's like, man, that was I should have taken my time and wiped down the handles. And I slipped. I hit the mat.
Those were slippery. It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
I literally hit the mat, hit the water, boom, I'm out. I'm like, this is the worst. I could have nailed all the rest of the stuff. I trained for all upper body. I was ready for the rest. Not that one. But after that, I was rooting for you so much, Joe, man. I really was. I went home, I pouted for a second. I was like, screw it, man. I'm going to just work my ass. I'm going to go harder. I'm going to go harder than ever, because stuff like that motivates me, because you're fighting yourself. You're not against anyone. It's against yourself. It's like that life journey, going back to that. Yeah. We're all on our own personal life journeys, and you are, dude, but you're doing it. You're a huge role model of kids. You're role model of people like myself who can say, man, he's doing that. It motivates me. Get my ass to the gym. Cool. Work harder. You know what I mean? Because we're all against ourselves. We're not against each other. We support each other, but I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
It reminded me, you just reminded me, I heard a speech. I think it was a graduation speech by Deshauna Barber. I remember hearing it one point recently. I don't know how old the speech is. I don't know if you've heard of it, but she essentially goes on to talk about how she wants to be Miss USA, and long story short, she becomes it after years and years and years. Excuse me. But her mother, during, high school or whatever it was, gave her some track shoes because she made the track team. And the track shoes were way too big. They're like 4 sizes too big. And the daughter, Deshauna, was like, why are you getting me these shoes when they're 4 sizes too big? And mom was like, well, you'll grow into them. So, why not? And she was like, are you serious? So she goes to run the first practice, trips and falls on her face, shoes fall off, everyone's laughing. And, she's like, all right, well, sometimes you have to walk before you run, and then you grow in these failures to fit the shoe. And once you grow and you fail and you start to grow in these shoes, you begin to be able to walk a little faster. And then you're able to start jogging and then growing. And you cross the finish line exactly the moment you're destined to, the moment you're ready to. You're grown into these shoes that are now molded to your feet from all the fails and the trials and tribulations. And I think it's such a great, just thought process to have, because that's exactly how I feel. I feel like, honestly, because I believe in God, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like God has not allowed me a win because I'm not ready, maybe not physically or mentally ready to handle success. I'm physically ready to handle failure, but maybe I wasn't the type of person I needed to be able to handle that moment. Maybe I would have become an asshole and just been like, yeah, and start, who knows? And that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like I just needed to grow as a human being in so many more ways than just the physical to even come close to winning and to hopefully win one day, because I put so much time in this, and he knows what's on my heart. He knows that I want this. And even through childbirth and having all these kids keep popping out, it's just, I'm still determined, still motivated. And it's great to see, and I mean this in a very positive way. I don't mean it to bash Drew, but it's great to see Drew have a kid and struggle, because that means what I went through and was able to come out on top of it. meant something. It means something to me to see somebody as good as him really struggle with gaining weight, with no motivation, with the same things I had to deal with. And now he's got a difficult situation here because he won $1 million. He doesn't really need to be motivated. He's done. He can be done if he wants.
Yeah.
You know, you set up a good account and you live off interest for a while and hopefully you make enough and you get some, I don't know, you're smart with your money. You know, obviously $1 million nowadays is not a ton, especially after taxes, but you know, he's doing better than most of us. So I feel like it's a little different for him. But the point is, I just feel like to see the growth over time and how I'm still motivated, I feel like it has to happen. I feel like it's my destiny. And I don't just, this is the kicker. I don't just say that. I believe that. And that's the difference. People say whatever they want to say, but if you say it with no belief in yourself, you're done.
Yeah.
And when I go out there, I truly believe I will beat everybody. And that's the difference. It's just a mental edge. If I see that guy freaking out of that obstacle, I just remember who I am. As I'm not trying to sound condescending, but I'm Joe Moravsky. I've done this for so many years. I've made so many mistakes. I've had so many successful runs. But what have I learned along the way? I've learned not to make those same mistakes. I've learned to grow and hopefully fit in those shoes and cross that finish line.
Amen, brother. That is well said. I mean, dude, you should be a motivational speaker, number one.
No doubt. That was good.
Thank you.
Number one, be a motivational speaker. Number two, that is the best way to break it down. You're absolutely 1,000% correct. And isn't it like the old saying, right? When we're too comfortable in life,
Yeah.
it's we don't challenge ourselves. We're not passionate. We don't have that fire anymore. We lose that spark. But when we're uncomfortable, man, we are just something to be reckoned with. You will be motivated more than anything. You will want to wake up every day, run longer, work out harder, whatever it is in that specific thing you're passionate and you want it so much more than anybody else living, right? You want it more. It's like those moments when you're uncomfortable and comfortable. It's a big difference. I agree, man. I remember when I was comfortable in when I was filming Ghost Adventures years ago, I was very comfortable. And I started getting bored. Like I was redundantly going through locations. It was getting bored for me, right?
Yeah.
And then I was uncomfortable, right? I moved on. I was doing my own thing. I was uncomfortable again. But then I rose up and I made Paranormal Lockdown. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is the next stepping stone. Then I got uncomfortable again, right? So it's like now I'm just so freaking passionate. I'm like a lion in the jungle. Watch out. Like, dude, I feel your passion, man. I know what you're going up against right now. Mentally, I understand where you're coming from about to conquer this. And I'm supporting that 1,000%, man. We're all behind you.
Thank you. Yeah, you know.
Let us be your mascots. Let us be your mascots.
Come on down.
That'd be great.
Ghost suits on.
Talk to NBC over there. Tell them Nick Ruff, Johnny Hauser, Chad.
That'd be amazing, though.
And Josh. We're all mascotted up.
By the way, Nick, when's the last time you applied for the show? Did you ever apply again, or did they never call you back?
I will say this with complete confidence right now, and I'm being no bullshit. If I thought about it recently, I guarantee I could crush it now. More so than back then. I swear. And I swear on like my life. And the reason is I've been training harder than anything in my life. Like for the last, what has it been? Since when were we on it? 2014, 13, something 14. Like that. Yeah. So for those years since, I mean, I pretty much have changed up everything. We just, Johnny and we just ran the Spartan Beast. And I finalized, I did it really fast. Actually, I nailed every single obstacle. Like within seconds, I've changed up all my routines, my nutrition, fitness. I'm like, I want to compete very soon. I'm going to compete in Spartan, to try to win. And that's kind of what I love the thrill of like the fast pace, just crazy obstacles. You're
a competitor.
Dude,
You're a competitor.
It's been in me since I was a kid. I started as a swimmer since age 8 on and played every sport, all the way through college into now. I need that. Every day I need that for myself,
Where do you live right now, if you don't mind me asking? Which state?
New England, man. I'm in Salem, New Hampshire at the moment. I'm all over the place, but I'm going to come down and check out your ninja facility there. I want to come by. I was going to
say 2 things. You got to come down for one. Number 2, if you want to go down to DC in a month, April 6th,
we're just
Monday.
there. Yeah.
Well, there you go. We're filming the show. I can get you to test if you want to get on that course and play some
there
That'd
it
be
is.
amazing.
There it is.
Yeah, I would come down. When is it? What day?
April 6th. It's a Monday. They probably do testing Saturday, Sunday before.
Hold on, let me check the calendar.
Nah,
Keep
you're
talking.
fine.
Keep
You're
talking.
Here we
free.
go.
Do it.
April
You're
4th and
free.
5th. You got to look for.
Chad, would you come? We'll interview.
Chad, will you come?
I guarantee I would do good. Johnny, what do you think?
I would love that.
Absolutely. So, like running the Spartan next to Nick, a lot of these ultra guys, the veterans of the Spartan Beast, doing the ultra, which is the Beast twice, they're like, "Who is this guy?"
Insane.
He's
Really,
just
huh?
nailing every single obstacle, and like everybody's going, "Who is this guy?" Like
That's
he's just
impressive.
passing us all up.
Yeah, that's impressive.
April 6th, I'm free.
All right. What about the 4th and 5th, though? Because those are probably the testing days.
I will probably make that happen regardless if I'm
All
not
right.
free.
All right. Just text. I think you got my number. Text me.
Yeah. No, I do. I will. Is it in DC? Right in Washington? All right.
Washington Armory. It's the Armory.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
big building.
Dude, oh man, I would be so pumped. I've been after this for years, and all I do every day is I'm just like, I love this stuff, man. I'm just like you. I love this stuff.
What we need to do first is you got to come down to the gym whenever you're free. You can get on some of the obstacles. We got some hard stuff up right now. Okay, the things that are new to Ninja Warrior that you're not used to. Okay, I'm talking like lashang from a bar and grabbing around the corner to grab another bar, like talking awkward movement. This is like the new thing of Ninja Warrior. There was an article that just went out. I wish I could find it in the time that I'm trying to talk about it. But Nikki Lee, she is the writer for A&W. What's it called? A&W Nation. Yeah. And she just wrote an article on how she went to ATS headquarters, which is ATS is the people that build the show. They test the obstacles, they do all that stuff. And hopefully I can find it. She wrote an article basically saying, I can't talk about the obstacles that I just saw because I went through a walkthrough of the course, but I can tell you my reactions. And I was like, oh, come on. Really? And I really want to read some of these to you because they were my brain just starts to twist and turn. I know it's right here. It's got to be.
Just because the obstacles are so wild now? Is that why?
Yeah. I think if I find this article, oh man, it's going to drive me crazy. There's no way. What's today's date? It was not that long ago. I'll find it. Yeah. Well, before we're done. But it's pretty insane. Just some of the things you're like, oh man, I'll find it. I'll find it. We'll talk about it in a second.
I mean, it's incredibly impressive to watch you do what you do because I don't know about you guys, I would have bust my ass in a second.
Quickly. So quickly.
No doubt.
Not for everybody.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Yeah. I mean, when Nick said you're a real athlete, I can tell. It's just completely like a whole nother world than what I'm ever used to. So, man, good for you.
Well, it's like we said, you train hard. You have to have some raw talent, of course. But
yeah.
I feel like that mixed with the competitive fires that I was telling you about, within me, within Nick, with some of you guys here, depending on where those fires lie. It might be in your work. It might be in, whatever you do. But that's the thing is whatever you work hard for, as long as you don't give up, there's a good shot you're going to get what you want.
Absolutely. It's what I tell people all the time. You got to be the last person standing.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. You have to be the last person standing. Yeah, man.
Yeah. They call the ninjas that go the furthest on the show but don't win the last ninja standing. So
that's awesome.
No pun intended there. But yeah.
Funny story. Johnny was touching on this a little bit. So 14 miles was a Spartan Beast, right? So it's interesting mentally when you get to a certain point, just like on American Ninja Warrior, you get to a certain obstacle.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you push yourself mentally a little bit further, or your arms are going to give up? You don't want to let go. You're holding on. How do you force yourself? Because no matter what you do, your body's going to fail. Your body's absolutely going to fail. At some point, we all have a breaking point. But mentally, where is that breaking point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what bothers me so much. Because at the gym, I train to that point and try to pass through that point, right? But then you hear stories like that guy that went, what was it, parasailing or something? Or paragliding or whatever. And he had somebody on his back that was strapped in. and he was supposed to strap to her, something like that. I'm not telling you completely right. And he pushes off, and they're in the air for 10 minutes. And this guy hung from the thing with no straps because he realized he forgot by one arm.
Wow.
I think I got this right. For 10 minutes. He ripped tendons,
Dude.
but he didn't let go because he wanted to survive.
Wow.
I mean, that's it right there. Yeah.
That's
Right?
it.
That's
I
it.
couldn't hang for 10 minutes. I'd be dead. I don't
Dude,
get
So
it.
Joe, just think about it. When you're on that obstacle, right, and you're hanging there,
or alive.
just think, sharks below you will eat you.
Yeah.
So the
Spikes.
sharks,
I wouldn't
spikes,
I wouldn't jump off the course, I think.
do not let go.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
So hey, I found the article. So she's got 10 captions essentially that she wrote down. Okay, one of them was, "Oh my, that drop is going to sting a bit."
Ooh.
Okay, all right. Hope the ninjas haven't stopped playing hopscotch.
Okay.
I know, right? My brain is like, what are they doing? Hope the ninjas have always dreamed of being inside a washing machine during the spin cycle.
Whoa.
Now, Nick, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, redemption time. Let the bee sting, puns commence. So I'm guessing they're going to name something after a bee or so. I don't know. That's that one. I'm not going to think about that one. This one's important. This is the next generation of nuts.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Okay, so things have changed apparently. This one is also very interesting. I assume the ninjas know they should be practicing that move, right? God, what is it? It's always nice to spend time with old friends. Wow, it's like the fans just don't like the ninjas.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Oh, fancy safety pads for fancy falling. And wow, that's closer to the water than anyone ever wants to be. Killing me. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with mentally over here, just looking at that article. I almost texted Nikki and was like, I hate you. Made things worse.
Josh, this is a good time for that sound effect.
Which one, brother?
I don't know.
Just anything like
yeah.
Like the that one?
I'm out.
Oh my God, man. That's great. That's so
it.
great.
That's it. So Joe, 4:45 a.m. I'll be at your ninja facility tomorrow morning. Okay.
Well, I won't be there.
I'm just No, definitely. I want to come down and check it out. I definitely want to come and, just see some of the training, try out some obstacles, stuff that you do, that I'm not familiar with. Obviously, I've been out of it, but I definitely know I definitely could do a lot of that stuff. I train so differently now. People think I'm nuts in the gym. I think people are like, what is he doing with that's muscle ups on a grease bar or like with spikes sticking out the end of it? That's the stuff that I'm doing now.
You got to come on, man. We got some stuff that's going to make you feel like you're not ready at all, and it's going to be great. Yeah,
and then you'll be like, Nick, you're talking a big game. I probably should go home.
No, I don't think I would ever say that.
I'm just joking. No, I'm excited, man. So when does it start officially? Like, when are we going to be seeing on TV? When is it like, when are you running the course? What happens next?
Yeah, so next week they film in LA for the first region, and that'll be great to hear about because obviously the ninjas, we all talk in our own secret ways. I'm not going to ever mention how, but we talk about the course. We may or may not see images of the course. Probably don't see images. My contract expires when, and so we have an idea of kind of some of the obstacles that may have changed that are the staples of the show. For example, the first obstacle is usually some sort of striding, stepping, jumping thing, right? And they changed it a few years ago to like the shrinking steps. It was just little cubes you have to step on, and they go up, but they get smaller as you go, and they're on pillars. So it's kind of intimidating. You're like, oh my gosh, it's like a balance beam, but you're jumping to step.
Damn.
Then we saw that in LA years ago, and we were like, all right, we're going to the gym. You build it and recreate it, and we practice it before we get to play on it. And it's unfair to LA, but too bad. I don't care. It's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I live in Connecticut. My bad, guys. So we take what we can get. But generally speaking, because of that, and the show knows, they know we talk. So they will make the course a little easier. Sure, they'll have new obstacles, but they won't be as hard. Our region last year, we didn't even have a clear. Nobody even finished the city finals. It was ridiculous. It was an obstacle called the Angry Birds, named after the movie that was coming out to promote it. There was some sort of deal they had. And it was literally a bunch of just little grabs at different angles, but each grab was its own individual, upside down piece with the handholds cut out at different parts.
Damn.
If that makes any sense. So one grab might be like this, and then you have to swing. And the thing, by the way, is tilting. Like the whole thing is on a one pipe track. So the whole thing, all these little platforms individually, it was a pain. And sure enough, the last move to get to the second half was a front grip to a reverse grip. And the reverse grip had a lip the size like probably less than a paint stick. It was probably a paint stick. Wow. Where you're grabbing a ledge and then a paint stick lip, and you're trying to hold the paint stick. And we all fall. Myself, Naj Richardson, every known ninja that has been on the show or hasn't been on the show, everyone failed. I kind of blame myself for that. I really feel like as a veteran, I should have been able to fight through that. But when you see somebody like me or Najee or the guys that people idolize growing up watching the show and now they're there doing it, when you see those guys fall, because it happened to me my first season, you just immediately think, I'm not going to be able to do it. Joe can't do it. And it gets in your own head. My first season on the show, Brent Stephenson, who was the last ninja standing the year prior, my role model, my guy, I'm literally up after him, and I'm like so pumped. I'm like, yeah, he's going to get to stage 3 again. We're on stage 2 in Vegas, and I'm watching. He's on the salmon ladder, which is that bar you jump up the rungs, and he falls. And I'm like, all right, see you guys. I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. Like I was totally not going to have it. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to beat this if he can't. And thankfully, a buddy of mine, Elliot Hall, came up to me. He's like, Joe, stop. We didn't really know each other at this point. He's just being a good guy. It's like, listen, stop. Mistakes happen. He'd have been on the show, I think, a year or two already. Mistakes happen. This is not you. This is Brent. Brent fell. It's your turn. Get up there. Do what you do. You're here for a reason. Okay? Show us what you're made of. And I was like, all right, man. And he kind of pumped me back up. But let me tell you, when you see that veteran fall, what are you going to do? And that's where that mental fortitude really comes into play. And that's the thing I probably had to train the most, because I've always had the confidence in myself. But when it comes to being the only person to achieve something that nobody else has done, that's the thing I kind of had to work on a lot to really believe in myself to that next level. Like, all right, well, these guys can't do it, but they don't know. Like, I'll show them how it's done. That's the confidence that you need to have. Even if it's not true, you have to believe it.
Sure.
And that's the difference maker.
What music do you listen to? You listen to any music to just get you all pumped up and stuff like that before you run a race? Do you do that, or do you try to keep silent, or what do you do?
It really depends. If I'm having an issue getting that initial hype, then yeah, I'll listen to music. I have a playlist like ready to go, and the playlist consists of very strange things. I'll tell you that.
What are some?
Some of them are as simple as, this is funny. Let's see if you should know. It might take a second.
Star Wars.
Yep.
Just thinking about the force flowing.
Yeah, that meditate, just going in that abyss, ready to conquer.
Right?
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the force. I don't know. I love just pretending I have this power that is like a force. I love to believe in that. And then, of course, I have to have things like this.
Nice. Build it up.
Anybody in the field. In season 5, stage 3. No!
In the water.
Season 6, stage 3. Uh-oh. No! Season 7, stage 3. Is he going to reverse it? A twist?
No! This is memorized.
Came so close to finishing. Oh, a long range. And a good save. Can he hold on?
So I got all these different ones, and of course the music. I got some Matrix music.
Oh yeah.
This beginning's kind of not so familiar, but this part, you'll know.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes and you're there, But it's interesting. It's interesting how I pick music that kind of has to do with force. I just realized with the Matrix has its own force, so to speak, right? A manipulation of a system or changing of something that a power that no one else has. And then you go to the Star Wars and the power that no one has, or even I can even stretch it as far as Harry Potter. I love that series, and magic and all this power, and you see, I don't know, it's something about feeling the power through the thought of the power. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's manifestation. I mean, it's manifestation, right?
Yeah. So
it's empowering the moment, empowering the music, something that moves you emotionally and you connect with, that you can almost float through the course. You can float and overcome any obstacle that's in your way. It's empowering yourself. I totally get, man. It's a connection.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And music is empowering. It is, as we know. But for whatever reason, lately, it's just I don't need the motivation. It's there. At this point, it's just. I do what I have to do, which is focus on the course, come up with every single movement. I'm talking left hand here, right hand here, match on this, reach out right, feet come up. Like I plan every part of my run. And so that's kind of where things have changed. I haven't really listened to music when I'm competing. Excuse me. It's more of listening to music when I'm training, just to keep it up and keep the power and the energy there. But when I'm competing, the energy's there. The adrenaline's flowing real early. I'm going to tell you right now. So, a little too early, you get that adrenaline dump, and you get tired because we used to film overnight. This is the first year we're filming during the day. I don't know if you know that, Nick.
No, that's new.
LA's filming overnight still, just because they are. But in DC and in St. Louis, there's 2 regions in DC and another in St. Louis. Those are during the day and indoors. The first time.
Interesting. Yeah, well, that makes sense with the weather. I wish they would have had it indoors when we did our course because it was terrible.
Yeah, tell me about it. So,
man,
although I got first place both those nights, so I'm not.
I know, and I was rooting
sorry,
for you.
buddy.
No, it was amazing. It was amazing.
I had to change. Right, you ready for this? I had to change our wedding date because of my success on the show.
Oh man!
In St. Louis, my wife and I had our wedding planned for like a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it was, and it was in June of 2014. And the Vegas finals were June 2014. And I was like, oh, well, I think we'll be fine. And then sure enough, I go to St. Louis. I'm like, all right, well, we'll be fine. And I get first place both nights, which was about $8,000 in prizes. And there was really only a prize for first place, and I got them both. So it was a nice chunk of change. And production called me up, and they were like, hey, so you coming to Vegas? And I was like, I might have to sit it out because I just found out the dates of Vegas are the same as the wedding. They were like, all right, well, if you back out prematurely, you forfeit all prize money. I was like, okay.
Wow. Honey,
those producers.
Change of plans.
Hey, baby, how much you really love me. She's the best, she's been by my side every year since the beginning, and she knew. And it's been really cool to have her allow me to live my dreams. And I feel like I feel terrible because she loves her job, but I feel like even if she doesn't say it, it's not the thing she loves most in life. And so my goal over the next few years is to really let her step back, look in from outside and say, you know what, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I want to do this. And she hasn't really said this, but I can tell, it's just a lot. So it's unfair to me to be able to live my dreams, and she just gets to watch. Like, she's too good of a person to just for me to just let her do that. So that's kind of my goal. But she's been there since the beginning, and she even let me move the wedding. She was like, as long as you pay for the new wedding invitations and you got to take care of everything. I was like, baby, I got you. Don't worry. So it worked out, and it was my first year being the last ninja standing. Back when there was no prize, by the way, for that. Nowadays, it's $100,000 you win. Wow. I did it twice and got paid none.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's been very frustrating. Season 8 was the last time they, season 9 was the last year they didn't have a prize. In season 9, 6 and 9, the 2 years I was the last ninja standing.
Wow.
So very frustrating. But it's every 3 years I've been last ninja standing. Guess what? 6, 7, 8, 9. And guess what? 10, 11, 12 is this year. You know what that means.
You got it this year. You're getting it.
There.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Putting on those gains, getting it. Yeah, man, I'm rooting for you. I mean, mad respect from, the ground up. You work your ass off. It doesn't come easy. You're passionate. We can feel your passion resonating out. And I believe in you, man. I really do. And I'm not just saying that. I really, truly, you were a super genuine person. The first day I met you down in St. Louis when I went out for it, you were super genuine. It was crazy, too, because I think you were really quick. You were wearing your suit. You're wearing your suit, right?
Yeah.
You had a suit on. And we're talking, and he's super cool dude, and he's talking about, what's on paranormal. The weather, paranormal, what I do, all that stuff. We're talking. And I'm like, dude, like, what else do you do? And I turn around, and there's this big, huge truck, a construction truck with those massive tires. And he runs up it, does a backflip off of it in a suit. I'm like,
that's
gotcha.
Pretty cool. Okay.
This is going to be fun. I got to set my game up here. This is
right?
not.
You know how to do backflip yet or no?
Not off a construction truck. I mean, I probably don't want to try it today. Fall on my head.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it if you don't know how. Just save for the gym. Save for the gym.
Yeah, I'll try it, but yeah, not off.
Maybe not. Not in my facility, you won't.
Oh man, it's been amazing knowing you, following your journey, seeing every year you're fighting, man. You're fighting. I am rooting for you this year. Everybody, whoever's listening right now, American Ninja Warrior, tune in, watch Joe, follow him. Where can people find you right now? On your Twitter, Facebook? Yeah,
it's all at Joe Moravsky. If you can't spell Moravsky, Moravsky, or just Google Joe Ninja Warrior, you'll find me. There's not a lot of Joe Ninja Warriors out there. There are a few, but I'm lucky enough to be at the top still. So, and that's the easiest way to do it. Or joemoravsky.com, or text Nick Groff and he'll hook you up.
Yeah. Man, you rock, dude. And I hope you feel better. I'm gonna come down there to Connecticut. So
yeah, we're gonna hold you to that here. All right,
let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The training starts now, Nick.
It's happening.
I know in the morning I'm going to have some weird video text from Nick in the gym.
I'm so sorry.
He knows what. He's like, man, I'm getting it. It's 4 a.m.
I do it to Johnny all the time. Johnny's been kicking ass too, man. You're incredible from like the stage you were at to where you're at now. I mean, man, I'm just super proud of Johnny too.
Johnny looks like a Spartan. Look at him.
Oh, yeah. He's a beast.
He does. He looks like he's ready to just tear something down.
Yeah. Cornfields. He tears down cornfields out there in Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
That might be the greatest compliment I've ever had from anyone. So thank you, Joe.
Oh, I got you.
All right, buddy. Well, feel better and good luck with everything. And we will definitely talk soon. And kick ass, man. American Ninja Warrior, you own it. Let's get it.
I'll do my best. Hey, I'll do my best. That's all I can ask for.
Get that mill. Get it. Right. Bring it home. Bring it home. All right, buddy. Take care. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, guys.
Ciao, buddy.
See you.
Amazing, man. Another incredible person who is just born into this world, has the strength, the ability to bypass, everything that you can go down one path, but he was meant to go down this. He's an American Ninja Warrior. He's a person that was made to be just this beast on the obstacles, because some people have it, man. Some people have to work hard at it, but mentally, he's totally right. It's a mental thing. You either want it or not. Doesn't matter what you're doing in life. And he wants that so bad. He wants to win it. He wants to finish every obstacle. He doesn't want to fail. And he keeps going after it year after year after year, training day after day after day. And man, that's some motivation, some willpower behind that force.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of amazing too, like the athletes that we've talked to. There's kind of that general theme, right? It's like it's all about there's a lot of physical toughness, But there's a lot more mental toughness, especially like what Joe was just saying. He's like, it's 60% mental, like getting in your head, man. It's like, wow, like you don't really think about that. And then you're watching all these other guys who you look up to, like go before you and fail, and what that does to your psyche before you get on that starting block. You know, it's like, damn, it's amazing stuff, man.
I mean, imagine waking up every day, training, eating right, going through the momentums, right? And then the day comes where you have to run the obstacles. You're standing around waiting, and then you finally have the opportunity to run it. And within 30 seconds, you could fail one of those obstacles. All that training, all that endurance, all that mental willpower to get to that spot. You fly out there, you're getting lack of sleep, you're thinking about it, you're overthinking it, and suddenly you're there on the platform. All your nerves are going, everything's going. You're like, whoa, this is it. You're like, you could be done in 30 seconds, right? Or less. Or you go past that. And then when it happens, you fail. Doesn't matter if it's the first course, you make it on to the next course, whatever it is. If you fail, you start all over again.
Yeah, for sure.
The camera died.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we could end it there if you guys want.
Yeah, I mean, we could. Yeah, that's fine.